So when I first got kicked out, this was my home, right here in this big circle. And I would come here at nights and I would just be alone. I remember sitting right here, just alone and scared, scared little boy.
My name is Janika, and I've been in and out of care for many years now. Started around 9 that DCF became involved in my life and was committed at 17.
Hi, my name is Earl Durham, Maurice Durham Jr. for the full. But I've been in the system for a little over maybe 10 years.
My name's Alexis. I've been in the system since the age of 6 until the age of 23 when I aged out. First time I came into care was probably about 6 years old. That was the first time. We came into care a couple times from the age of 6 to probably about 12. I think the most prominent time I came in was when I was 12 and I committed myself. At that time, my siblings, my 2 brothers and sister were already committed into care, and I was going through a lot, so I made the call and committed myself.
Coming into the system was pretty hard because it was like you were trying to figure out whether you're coming into the system or whether you're not, because I didn't want to come in the system. You're getting ripped away from your family and you don't know, they saying it's helping, but you being with your family your whole life or for the umpteen years that you've been with them, and for someone to say and they're going to come and take you out of a situation that you're so immune to is terrifying.
I felt overwhelmed. I was 17 and pregnant, so my whole first month of my pregnancy, I was homeless. Going from being homeless to a structured environment, it was hard. It was very difficult following all these rules that I didn't even have in my own home.
So when I came into foster care, I kind of thought everything was going to be cool because, I ended up, when I first came in, I ended up staying with my aunt. And it was fine. I knew the home, I knew the people. They loved me, I loved them, and everything was cool. But when I ended up leaving their house, that's kind of when the real journey began. And I ended up bouncing around from foster home to foster home and group home and shelter. And it was just kind of a crazy life.
My first placement, it was hard. Going from being free and doing whatever I wanted to structure environment. Then a couple months after, 4 or 5 months pregnant, I moved to a placement for women and children. Again, hard going into another structured environment with new rules and new people, strangers around 24/7 on different shifts, meeting new girls and different personalities all around, different age of kids. I then had my daughter, and it was overwhelming. So being a young mother and just being back in school, just getting into a new environment, I struggled. I went through about 5 group homes.
Transitioning was really hard because once they was done helping us, once our worker said that he couldn't give my mom any more breaks, it was like it was nothing that she can do. I end up moving with my grandmother and that didn't work out. I end up moving with my aunt and that didn't work out, and from there it was foster homes, and that is kind of like you just feel like you're getting passed around like meat, like who to the highest bidder. And it's not like you don't feel like it's family and like they actually really want to help you and they there to care for you. You just feel like I'm here for a check. no one really lives the moment that you live in that transition. So it's actually really, really, really something hard to deal with and something that you can't deal with on your own.
You know, altogether in all of my time in care, I've probably been in 20 to 25 homes between the foster homes and the group homes. A lot of them, it just kind of seemed like, you know, it was a paycheck and there wasn't a whole lot of love in the home. But, you know, there were a couple that really stood out and stand out for me that I really felt like I made a family with.
What made me leave care was just being tired of the rules and didn't want anyone telling me what to do and when to do it and when to go to sleep and be off my phone. I felt like I had 50 mothers. I wanted to be free, so I left.
When I went into the me feeling like I was grown, feeling like I didn't need them anymore.
I think at 18, you're just legal. That's the first thing on your mind. I'm legal. I can go buy a pack of cigarettes and do what I want, and I can I can sign a lease for a house. I can do this. I can do it on my own, work a job, and then you get out there, and you can't just go into a house with no money. So you start working. Where are you gonna stay? Call friends. Some friends don't answer. Like, you know I'm here. You know I have nowhere else to go. You know I just left. Where are you?
So the reason why I left, I felt like they was like basically like what is the word that I'm looking for? Yeah, rules.
Right here, if you see, there's a whole line of them. And there used to be a gate. And one of my fond memories is that when I left the top of the park, I tried to come down here and I tried to sneak through the gate because it was the only place for safety. I knew that if I was on this side of the gate, nobody can touch me, nobody can mess with me, and I can sleep in peace. So one night when I tried to get through the gate, I was actually stopped by the police. And the police officer told me, he said, "Go home." As if I'd be over here trying to get through a gate if I had a home to go to.
When your family tells you that you can't stay here, and you're like, but you're my sister, and she's like, family ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Seriously? That's the most hurtful feeling, to be somewhere that somebody doesn't want you to be and you have no control over it. To be unwanted in a position that you have no control over. You can't be like, I'm gonna stay here. You have no control over someone else's house. If they don't want you there, you feel like less of a person. You feel like, what did I do for you to not want me to be around? Like, what is wrong with me? You get what I'm saying? Especially as family, it's like, you're my sister. Like, we lived in the same house together at a point in time. Do you not remember that? Do you? I mean, it was just, it was a hard thing, and that was what, before I even got homeless, that was the hardest part for me, because I always thought, because that if DCF was to cut me off, I would be okay because I was with a family member and they would take care of me and I would not have to be carrying. You know, I didn't think of that. I always thought, okay, I'm with my sister. I mean, I'm straight. But once that check stopped coming, she looked me in my face. It wasn't no text message. It was a text message, but to my face, she told me, like, family don't mean nothing.
You know, when I was first kicked out, I came here. You look at the whole scene; it's so beautiful. And I remember coming up here as a kid and playing and running around and throwing the football with my friends. And you know, when I got kicked out, that's what I wanted. I wanted safety. I wanted security. So I came to the park. So, sleeping in the park was a relatively small part of my time. In all honesty, I didn't really do a whole lot of sleeping to begin with, unless I was couch surfing. Now, when I say couch surfing, I'm talking about sleeping with my friends at at their house, or going to my aunt's house, or um, a couple times I snuck back into my own house, into the attic.
I became homeless when I was 17. My mother, I, my mother found out I started drinking again, and she kicked me out. A week later, I found out I was pregnant. So maybe a month after living at a park, showering in a crack house, I then started to petition men online for a place to stay and started exchanging sexual favors for food and shelter. And meeting these men was like Russian roulette. No idea if I was going to survive the night with them or if they would let me go in the morning. I met the wrong one, and a man answered my ad online, messaged me, and wouldn't let me go the next morning. So for a month, I unfortunately was a victim of human trafficking.
The moment I realized I was homeless is when I went to go stay at my friend's house, and he's like, "Yeah, you can't stay here." Like my mom said, you can't. I'm like, I can't put my stuff. No. The moment you realize you're homeless, when you have no place to put your stuff, because that's everything you're carrying around. That's the only thing that I had. I don't know what for everybody else. For me, that was the only thing I had. Living with my mom, every time my mom put me out, she knew to never touch my stuff, because I paid for that. Whether some of it was stolen, whether some of it was given, whatever it was mine. And that's why I care so much about my clothes, because I still have stuff from 3 years ago. I don't have a book bag from 3 years ago. I don't have a pen from 3 years ago. I don't have a bed. Like, I don't have any materialistic thing but my clothes. So it meant so much to me that when I traveled, that was the main thing that concerned me. That was like, where is my stuff gonna go? Where's my shoes? I have a lot of shoes. I have a lot of clothes. Where is that going? And it hurts me for the people that don't have it. It's like, then it's worse because you're traveling around with nothing. So when you realize that you have no place, this friend won't let you put your stuff here, your mom won't let you leave your stuff here, your mom threw your stuff out on the balcony, it's like, where do I bag up all my stuff and where do I put it? Where do I bring it? I can't leave it at the shelter. I can't like put it in storage. I can't like, hey, let me just leave my book bag, this and a couple of bags of clothes and what? And then you don't want to tell certain people your situation, so it's like, where do you go from there? Where? My biggest regret is leaving the agency without my diploma, only because it's so hard to get it just by yourself. When you're trying to get your diploma by yourself, you have to go through Adele Ed and just through stuff that makes you feel so less of what you are. I felt so stupid. And when you actually feel stupid, it's different when someone's calling you stupid. When you feel stupid, it's like, what, you don't have nothing, you can't even defend yourself. You can't come up with a reason for why you feel stupid because you don't know. You don't know what he's trying to you can't even fathom to think what is the problem or why is he explaining like this, because it's like it's not there. So when you like, oh, here, Earl, go to this school, we're trying to help you, we're trying to help you, we're trying to help you, my emotions are numb to that because I feel like you're not helping me.
I wish I had just finished school. I did finish early, not the right way, and I left before my graduation.
When you're unstabilized in life, in housing, you can't think about the future. You have to live for now. You have to live for how I'm gonna eat, what I'm gonna wear, and where I'm gonna sleep tonight. 3 things right there. What I'm gonna wear tomorrow, how I'm gonna eat, and when I'm gonna sleep.
Throughout my entire life, one thing that my mother did instill in me was the value of education. So even when I was homeless, education meant so much to me, and I still went to school every day. And you know, I truly appreciated school, and I loved school. I was 17 when I realized I was accepted to college.
I am now going to Stone Academy. I am, I will be obtaining my PCS license, patient care specialist, and maybe after I could take a couple months off, going to a 4-year college for RN.
I attended the University of New Haven. I was so excited when I got accepted. I took up criminal justice with a concentration in investigative services. I have graduated. Yeah, it was one of the proudest moments in my life. When I was about to turn 18, I was confronted with this paper, this 800 form, and basically it's kind of complex, and a lot of times kids don't understand. What they do understand is that when they turn 18, they want to get out of the system. They're tired of the rules. They're tired of somebody ruling their life. They're tired of all the crap that they have to deal with, and so they know when I turn 18, I'm out of DCF. My advice is to think about that. There's so many benefits that DCF can offer you, whether it's college or independent living skills, so that when you do get out, you know how to live properly. You know how to maintain your household and how to take care of yourself and your family. These are things that DCF has instilled in me because I continued on with their voluntary services. I didn't sign the 800 and say, I'm out of here. I stayed on, and I went to school. I got my college education, and that's major, especially in this market now where it's so hard to get a job.
Not compl- Oh, I hate that word. I hate it. I heard that word over a billion times. I hate it. Compliance. See, I forgot it. I took it out of my membrane. That's why I didn't. I hate that word. But it's just like, it's informing you that you are not following the simple rules that they ask you to follow. And what I actually didn't know about the letter is if you send that letter before the time date that they give you, you can actually continue get your stipend until the time that they make a decision. So when I got the last letter, it was like, they ain't playing no good. My check ain't come this month. They ain't playing. Earl, I've sent you 3 letters. It's out of my hands now. And what do you mean it's out of your hands? If I had a plan, I don't think it would have never happened. I never had a plan. I was just going with the flow. Every day, I have to find somewhere to stay. I have to hit somebody up. I have to probably be with someone all day just until I can find somewhere to stay, just so I can be with someone, especially without a phone. When you don't have a phone, it's so much harder because you are lost in contact with the world. You cannot even hit someone up that you may think can help you. You can't because you don't have any contact. So running from here and here and staying here and then having to go and get my clothes for this and get dressed for the day and find somewhere to take a shower, and it was the hardest thing, and it brings me back to the life with my mom from the shelter, and I hate it. It was just like hard as HELL. It was really hard thing to try to come back from and come back to reality and grip yourself and realize that you need to do this and you have to do this. You have to do because you're so stuck in that moment. That's a hard moment to get out of. that's called I call it a hustle moment, because you have to hustle. It's like you're drug dealing or something. Like, you have to be on the phone, you have to run here, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to do this. But it's not for money, it's not for the possession of something, it's not, you're doing nothing illegal, it's to survive. So it's the same thing. You're calling people. You're going here. You're going here, and it's hard. It's one of the hardest moments of my life that I've been through.
When I left, I didn't have a plan. I just wanted to try and make it work with my child's father, and nothing changed with him. So I then called the DCF hotline and requested reentry. It's very scary to call and say, hey, can I come back into care when I just left you and cursed everyone out and told you I didn't need you. It was scary, and all I could think was rejection and what was I going to do next. Thankfully, the agency welcomed me back with open arms, and I was relieved. I had a place to shower, I had some food to eat and clothes on my back. The people from the agency were friendly, caring, had such a warm heart. They didn't really focus on the past, and they didn't judge me on my past experience in their agency or in their placements. They really just made sure I was safe and assured me that nothing else was going to happen. And coming back, it felt amazing. It felt good that, I have people who still, after I fell down so many times, bringing people with me, they got back up and helped me get back up right there with them. It felt really good.
DCF offers you a lot of benefits, and I'm not talking about just paying for school. They will pay if you want to go to a music class. They will pay if you want to, go to a DJ class, a ballet class. Like, they can help you become who you want to be, or help you follow your dreams.
I guess I would tell young people in care that no matter what struggles, DCF is actually there to benefit you. They help you. This DCF is for the people, for the young people.
DCF gives you that foot forward, and it's just your job to take the next step. And once you get of age, it's not their job to push you so hard anymore. Once you turn 18, it's your job to realize what you have in front of you and what they're actually offering.
At least trust in yourself and make sure that you go with your instincts. Like, it's probably not the best idea to leave care, and you can stick it out until, they help you get to where you want to be. But trust yourself and make sure you have someone that you've known for at least a couple years, that maybe they don't help you all the time. Maybe it's only advice, but that's still helping. Honestly, trust in your God. Those who don't have religion, I don't know what to tell them. But really trust in God, because He is there. Just when you think, oh man, it sucks I'm out here and I'm sleeping on a bench. Hey, God didn't make it rain or snow. At least you're there and you're not freezing.
A lot of times when I was going in and out of these homes, part of the reason why I was being transferred so many times was because of my own needs. I felt like my needs weren't being met. So I might have been in a foster home, and I had a house and I had a roof over my head, but I didn't have a home. I didn't have a family that truly loved me. I didn't have a family that, really wanted to spend time with me, really wanted to take me out and give me a childhood. Because even at the age of, 12, 13, 14, I'm still a child. We're all big boys at that age, but we're still children. We all just want a little bit of love, children and adults. So yeah, I might have had a lot of foster houses, but not a whole lot of foster homes. There's a big difference between being homeless and being out on the streets and having a place to live. And I know that kind of sounds weird when you first hear it, because if you have a place to live, you're not homeless. But I know growing up in the system and going through the group homes, going through the foster homes, I oftentimes felt homeless. And for many youth who switch placements every month or every couple months, they're certainly homeless. I mean, that's nothing more than doing what I was doing when I was couch surfing. You know, it's just a little bit more of an extended stay. Homelessness is certainly in the mind. Um, you know, I just keep thinking of the phrase, a house is not a home. You could put a roof over my head, but that doesn't mean I'm home, you know. Now I think of home as my apartment, my daughter, um, and just happy times, food on the table, and, you know, laughter. That's home. That's home.
I am currently at St. Agnes Home, which is a wonderful placement for young mothers. In 2 weeks, I will be transitioning to the TLAPS program, which is more independent living, but still a part of St. Agnes, so I still have that support when I need it. Starting to be more independent and start my life.
I have a job now. I started Job Corps now. It's like I'm in the right position that I need to be in to just make further steps. I don't feel like I'm in a position to go back. I'm only in a position to just keep moving forward. Everything's set up. Like I got an apartment, I got a job, and I'm starting school. What else I'm gonna do? Fly? I feel so good. There's nothing I could do, and I could just thank Pam and everyone that's been influential in my life and helped me with the things that I needed to be helped with. Cause Lord knows I needed some things to be helped with.
There's really no deep, intricate way to put how I feel right now. It's simply happy. You know, I have my daughter, I have a happy home, and I'm just happy.
I just believe in my God. Look where I am.